everybody? It's Dallas, and we're back with Dream Large, Live Larger. Sitting next to me, I got Tumua. He's blowing up right now. Instagram comedian. He's also a stand-up comedian. So Tumua, can you tell these guys a little bit about yourself and why you got started, like kind of like why you got into comedy and how you got started?
Well, you know, a lot of people don't know, but I never was into comedy before. Yeah, so I actually got into stand-up. That was the first thing I got into was when I was at UH. I was on the football team at UH, and I just took a stand-up comedy class because I saw it in the class description, and I was like, okay, bro, easy GPA, let's go do this. So me and my friend Hunter, he was another player on the football team, and we just took that class, and I thought it just was gonna, you know, maybe show us a couple stand-up specials and study them and find out like what is the formula they use, the joke formulas. But no, in that class they actually make you do stand-up comedy in front of a live audience. So part of the requirements was to do like 3 or 5 open mics throughout the semester, and you got to get it signed by the guy who runs the open mic and everything. So I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting this, so I just did it, and then I had fun. And then for our final presentation, we had to do 10 minutes in front of a live audience at Anna O'Brien's, was this Irish pub bar.
And how was that?
Town. Oh, it was awesome. I was nervous, bro. I still get nervous to this day, but a lot of my football friends came down and watched me, and great experience.
Okay, so from the stand-up, like, when did you decide that I wanted to take this thing to social media too? Because I see you got all your Instagram videos blowing up. So when did you decide, like, you know, I wanted to shift to not only stand-up but get into the Instagram comedy and the IGTV?
Good question. So I never was into all these social media stuff. I was strictly just a stand-up comic. That was big. I didn't want to be an Instagram comedian. Nothing wrong with that. I have a lot of friends that are Instagram comedians and TikTok. But so it actually started during this pandemic. So when March happened and everything shut down, all the clubs shut down. I had this monthly show at Cole Golf Course. I perform there every month, do stand-up. But it closed down. So I was thinking, okay, am I not gonna do comedy anymore? Am I just gonna sit home, watch TV, or am I gonna try do something and create, you know? So I put out a couple videos about coronavirus with some toilet paper stuff, and then they went viral. And I was like, oh, okay.
So when they go viral, when they went viral, so you pumping out all these videos. I watched them too myself. It's hilarious. But you kept pumping them out. When did you start to see like a spike in your following, your Instagram following? Like at the beginning, or like it took a little while, a couple videos?
Right in the beginning, a little spike.
So what did you start at? Like, say you're doing your stand-up comedy, how many followers now? Because now you got like 40, 50K, right?
About 40-something thousand.
40-something thousand. So what was it before you even did Instagram?
Before I even did, was about like 3,000 to 4,000.
Oh, yeah.
Just with stand-up,
That's a big spike there.
Yeah. That was like in March, like 4,000 in March. After that, it jumped to 10K fast. And I was just happy to have 10K. I just wanted to have the K on the thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, that's good. But then I kept putting out more videos, and then more people seeing it, a lot of people sharing it, and it grew, and it kept going.
Nice, man. Cool. So how have like your live shows been then? Like, so say you're so you get booked to do a show, and then you're up there to perform. Like, how do you like that? Do you like that better, or like, so that's how you started off with, right?
Right.
So how do you like that?
So there's two sides like of me. There's my skits and then stand up. Yeah. They're kind of similar, but I enjoy stand up more because that was my first thing, my first love with comedy. But I try to use it as a business strategy, like we were talking earlier. All my skits, everything pushes towards my stand-up. So when I announced my Blue Note shows in October, it sold out instantly, and we kept adding shows and shows. I never did have that happen to me before the skits. So this is all because of my followers that have been gaining. So I try to do, it's almost like I'm prepping myself for the stand-up with the skits, with the social media, but it helps. You know.
So before the social media skits, your maybe your turnouts weren't as crazy as this. That just pumped it, right?
It pumped it big time.
So this is a personal question for you then. Maybe right before you get up on stage, you even said you get a little bit nervous, So say you're up there, how nervous do you get, and how do you like, do you have like a routine that you do, like a prep to where like, okay, I do this prep before the show, and then it kind of calms the nerves. Do you have anything like superstition or anything like that?
Not really, but I just, so I have like my set list of, a set list is like what are you going to talk about on stage? You know, when I headline, I do an hour. So I have someone open before me, do like 15 minutes. Then he brings me on stage, and I'm the headliner and do an hour. So I have my set list, and I usually just look at it before I get on stage, try to memorize what am I going to talk to. But just letting you know, like I never follow that order for some reason when I'm up there.
But does it flow still?
It flows still, but now I'm at the point where before when I first started, I've been doing stand-up for 4 years.
Okay.
So before when I first started, I was like to the T, like, okay, I gotta say this joke this way. I gotta say this joke right after this joke, you know. But now it's like, you read the audience first, you know. Every audience is different. So you can do the 4 exact same jokes to 4 different audiences and you'll get a different reaction every time.
Okay,
so maybe you're like, okay, this crowd get too much howlies in the crowd. Maybe I'm not gonna talk about Portuguese and stuff. Maybe I can just talk more universal family stuff. So you kind of read it and you kind of fish out what they catching on and you just roll with that. Play with the crowd a little bit, you know. It's fun.
So talk about your last show then. The last show you just did.
The last show, yeah. So
you just
in December,
yeah. Just had one.
They had 6 shows.
How many people did they allow in the crowd?
So it was at the Blue Note. It normally holds 300 something, but with COVID they cut it in half, so it was a little over 100 people. Okay. Each show.
But then how many shows?
6.
You did 6 shows.
Yeah.
Man, it blew up then, huh?
It blew up. Yeah, I lost my voice a little bit.
Yeah. And when you do the same scale, or sometimes you play around with it, like I
was saying, each crowd was different.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Like same topics I want to hit, but
the same topics.
You know,
Okay. So how do you come up with the content? Like for the stand up, and then also too, you can even talk about
skits,
for the skits. Like what makes you think about the content? Like how do you come up with it?
Well, just based on experiences, pretty much. Like what I experienced. I talk a lot about my family and my stand-up. My dad, my mom, because my dad was a football player, football star, played in the NFL. He's huge, and then I'm like 5'8". Never get my growth spurt yet, but hopefully they're gonna stretch me by Christmas. I just talk stuff like that, and I try to, for the skits, I try to find out, like, my main thing is it relatable, and then I gotta find out who's my audience, and my audience is local people mostly, you know. I'm not trying to make everyone in the mainland laugh, but if it does happen, then it does.
Eventually, you create that kind of content too. Huh?
But I just make sure it's relatable. That's the main thing. I want everyone to watch my videos and be like, oh, I know a guy exactly like that. I know a guy that does the construction stuff like that, who tries to go to lunch early, you know.
Do you don't have to say any specific person, but do you kind of have a guy in your head that you're kind of like making fun of a little bit?
A little bit, yeah. Just like my uncles, my cousins.
Like I know a guy.
I used to work construction part-time, so just all the different characters over there and what they do.
So the actors in your videos, because I know you kind of use some of the same, yeah? Are those like your friends, like childhood friends?
Yeah.
Or like
my friend Eric, he's a good friend of mine. He wasn't into comedy, but he's into like videography and pictures.
Perfect match.
So he was like,
perfect.
He would talk to me like, "Oh, you should shoot it this way and stuff." But
that was a perfect.
And then my girlfriend is the camera woman. So she holds the camera and she kind of directs me too a little bit, but yeah, I pretty much come up with all the ideas.
So your friend, he's in the videos too, or he's more behind
sometimes in the videos, yeah.
And then the guys that you use, okay, so because recently you've been kind of getting like more like celebrity guys in the videos. So how did that happen?
Usually they reach out to me or I reach out to them. So like the past one with Josh.
Yeah,
that was his idea. So
that's sick.
He's like, oh, we should do a vocal coach. And then, so
he played that one really good too.
He did. Yeah. So I just came up with some stuff and then we shot it, bro. We couldn't stop laughing the whole time.
When you do, I taught Michael Jackson the hiccup. Oh, I remember that part. I was laughing so hard, man. That's good. So, you started with the stand-up, that's right? Yeah. So, let's just say COVID kind of goes back to normal and you can do as many shows as you want. Are you going to put a halt on the social media side, or are you just going to keep pumping them?
Keep pumping it.
Keep pumping
because, like, I'm realizing the more videos I put out, the more followers I get. Yeah. So I'm getting new fans every time that experience me. And then they're going to be like, oh, this guy's performing live next month. You should go, you know? Yeah. So that's how everything pushes. But I love making videos. Yeah. I love making skit. It's fun.
So you like to, what do you like better, personally?
Stand up.
Yeah. Okay. You feel like you're more in control of the game because that's like what you started, yeah?
Because like with videos and skits, when you post anything, like maybe after 5-10 minutes, you'll see if it does good with the likes, the comments, and if it's not, you can just delete it. But with stand up, as soon as you say that first joke, within seconds, you know if you're bombing or if you're doing good.
How do you bounce back then? Like, say have you been in that situation where nobody laughed?
Many times. Oh yeah, I have.
How do you bounce back from that?
Usually, just try to make a joke about that.
Oh.
Like, pull out one notepad.
That's a good one.
Okay, I guess that didn't work. Let's try another one. You know, something like that.
Yeah. No, that's really good.
You gotta make a joke of the situation, the elephant in the room.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess the next question is let's just say you had to start your comedy career, because you just started, right? How many years ago again?
4 years.
4 years ago. Say you had to start from when you first got into that stand-up class. If you had to start this all over again, what would you do differently from maybe step one all the way to where you're at now? You kind of blew up already.
Question. Yeah.
So what would you do differently, or what would you do sooner, or maybe would you would kind of take it out? Yeah,
Strictly for stand-up, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how would you change it differently?
I would say a lot of advice I give to newer comics, like stand-up comics, when they ask me is, I just tell them just work on getting 5 good minutes instead of just trying to think I gotta come up with all these.
So that's what you kind of did in the beginning. It was your mistake.
Yeah, I just was writing all kind of random stuff. So just in the beginning, you just want to get comfortable on stage. So that's going to the open mics, doing 3 minutes, and just even if you don't get laughed, the main thing is that you feel comfortable with a mic in your hand and you're not too nervous, and just get that 5 solid minutes. A lot of new comics you see these days think they do a good 5 minutes, and then the next show they're like, okay, I gotta write something else now. But no, because those 5 minutes can expand. You want to make them better. You want to make everything tighter. You want laughs every 30 seconds. Just boom, quick to the point. Try not to talk too much word. You don't want too much words to the punchline. You want to just instant, quick.
So I guess this is kind of just a question going back to the stand-up side. Do you ever get to a situation where one of your 5 minutes, the joke is so funny, you start to go off script and you just spend an extra 10 minutes on a joke you didn't even plan? You ever do that?
Yeah. So it's called riffing.
Oh, riffing.
So it could even happen with someone in the audience. You talk about, you see this couple here, they say they met on Tinder or something. So you just go off about that. They're giving you all kind. It's true what they've been through, but it's absurd, and then the whole crowd is laughing, so you just keep going back and forth. Next thing you know, 15 minutes pass. You're like, oh, okay. So
but
that's what I kind of do now. I'm more jazz kind of and not strictly to the T. I gotta say this, I gotta say this, like a robot. You want to be spontaneous.
And I think the crowd likes that more.
They do.
It's oh wow, he didn't even script it.
Right.
That,
It's more,
he didn't practice that. He didn't always do
more talent.
Yeah, way more talent. Okay, so if you kind of did give a little bit of this, you kind of answered this question a little bit, but if you were to give advice for people who are interested in maybe doing stand-up comedy, you kind of did touch on that. So
a little bit.
Since you already touched on that, if you want to go into detail, but maybe more so on the Instagram side, maybe give some advice, or if people are starting off or they think they're funny and they want to start filming themselves, maybe do you have any advice for them?
I'd say just go for it. I mean, many times. Even today, I would film some stuff and I'll be like, it's not funny, I'm not gonna post it, and I don't post it, because I ask some friends, I show my videos to some my girlfriend or my dad, and I say, what, do you think this is funny? And they'll be like, no, and I just don't put it up. But to some people, it could be funny, So I'd say just put stuff up, be consistent. That's the main thing, but you don't want to be over consistent. I'd say a good ratio for Instagram, if you're just talking Instagram, is maybe posting at least twice a week.
Like a video, like an IGTV.
Yeah. Until you get noticed, and then you can slow down a little bit to make them hungry. When's the next video coming out?
Like that. Because I know that when I was watching your profile, I was like, I was getting sad because it started to run out March. You only started in March. So I was looking at all the handyman or the auto guy. I was looking at the guy who worked at Lowe's, right? But then it started to run out. I was like, oh man, I hope he comes out with new stuff. And now you're implementing more celebrities, so I think that's gonna blow you up even more. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever profession I try to do, I try to think, okay, who's the top guy in this profession?
Yeah, that's sick. That's a good way to approach it.
Right.
Oh man. Okay, so my last question of the day is probably the most important question I could ask, guys. Okay, so how do you pronounce your full name?
My full name, it's Tumua Tuinei. Did you know that was the whole name?
No, I never
know. Oh yeah, so Tumua Tuinei, but they call me Tumua for short.
Tumua.
Yeah.
What about last name?
Oh, Tumua Tuinei James Tuinei III. Yeah, so I went to Puno High School. So they saw my name on the list, and they thought I was gonna be on 7 foot solid. They're like, oh yeah, we gotta bring this guy for the football team. I show up. Tumua Tuinei James Tuinei. They look at me. Oh, That's me. You sure that's you? You know?
Oh, the coach is a little bit let down.
Little bit cool.
Oh.
I promise I'm gonna go 3 inches next month. You know?
Oh, okay. Man, yeah, thanks for being on the show, man. That's pretty much all the questions I have, but how can these people find you if they're interested in watching all of these funny videos we're talking about? Or maybe if they're interested in watching your stand-up, when do you have the next show coming up? So you can talk about like your upcoming shows and then show them what your Instagram handle and stuff like that is, TikTok, all of that.
Yeah, so Instagram, TikTok is at Tumua _ TUMUA_. Facebook, Tumua Tuinei, and YouTube, Tumua Tuinei. And then my next shows, I'll be at the Blue Note again in January. Yeah.
January.
So yeah. So
Nice.
I'm doing 8 shows. January 8th, January 9th, January 20th, January 8th, January 9th, January 29th, January 30th. Those weekends. So 2 shows a night.
So 8 shows, and that's
8
the most
shows.
you've ever done.
Yeah.
One time.
Right.
And that's the best. Probably that's the best deal contract that you had so far, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's
good.
probably the best place to perform right now with COVID. You know,
Yeah.
the only places open right now, I believe, is Blue Note and Hawaiian Bryant's for entertainment.
And what they have everything kind of set up. Like,
Yeah, everything's spaced out, 6 feet apart, tables of 5, and they got the plexiglass on
Oh,
stage.
nice. Okay, there you have it, guys.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in watching his live stand-up shows, check it out. Blue Note, man. Are these sold out?
I never announced it yet, but this video is gonna come out after. So
okay. Hopefully, then,
Hopefully,
because
yeah.
I know this thing's gonna sell out quick. How fast did the last one sell out then?
Oh, like so. At first, we were only planning 2 shows in one night, so it was a Sunday, and it sold out within hours when I put it up.
As soon as you put it up, hours, right?
So then we added another show, and it sold out again. Another
Hours.
show sold out, and then 2 more. So I did 6.
Yeah, man, you're blowing up. That's why I got a social media definitely helps.
And that never did happen to me before the pandemic. You know, I would still do shows, but it wouldn't sell out that quick. But that just shows how powerful, social media is.
And like honestly, of course it's a pandemic, and I'm not gonna ever say anything happy about it. But some people were fortunate enough to take advantage of the pandemic and turn it to your favor.
Right, this is like one of the
best terrible thing, but
years. That happened to me.
And some of these people they started their new Instagram, their vlogs, their YouTube, right? And so it's kind of blowing up now. That's good. Okay, guys. So that's all we have for today. This is Tumua. Perfect guest today. Hilarious, made me laugh all day.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Dallas.
Yeah, cool, man. Okay, so again, this is Dallas. Dream large, live larger. We're out. All right, guys. See you later.